Wait, what? Rioters broke into a migrant prison and demand every illegal walk free? Well, what? This actually happened? Oh my God. Chat, is this real?
First at 11 tonight, a Portland woman living near the city's ICE facility.
Of course it's Portland, man. Of course it would be Portland.
Has filed a lawsuit asking a judge to compel the city to enforce noise codes.
So in Portland, there's a...
Do you guys know about the Chaz thing? People that aren't from like the West Coast or people that are from other countries. Do you know about what happened with Chaz? You type a 1 in chat if you don't know about Chaz. All right, so there's a couple people that don't know about Chaz. So what happened was during the BLM era, you know, the whole the whole George Droid thing, right? During that, when people were wilding out in Portland, this group of people actually took over. They took over a part of the city. And they declared it an autonomous zone, basically, as in like a like its own country. And they tried to grow vegetables and shit. It was a fucking train. It was a train wreck. I think people got stabbed in there. It was a fucking huge issue.
Civil war between the law-abiding and the lawless who attack their local ICE facility on a daily basis. And as the city enters month number...
Basically, the West Coast is a fucking disaster.
Number 3 of constant warfare.
The West Coast of America is a fucking unmitigated disaster. The major cities.
On its streets, local residents are seeing businesses flee their city. In fact, things are so bad, even the library is being overrun with crime. Plus, as you're about to see, things here are about to get even worse.
At nighttime, there's a lot of people who are just living here like 24 hours a day. It's been like a month and a half now, them just screaming, using megaphones, and they have air horns going on. And I've tried talking to people and they just start screaming at me, like just super aggressive.
Sounds like this. At all hours of the night, prompting a lawsuit filed against the city by Cloud Elvin Grail. She lives across the street from where a group of protesters has been camped outside the ICE facility in South Portland. The loud noises caused her client medical issues.
She's got injury in both ears right now.
The protesters are out here because they do not want ICE in Portland. Doesn't represent the Portland values.
We've got a lot of support from the neighboring community, and they know exactly why we're here.
The Portland values, like people doing drugs in the streets and tons of homeless people breaking into your cars. Portland values.
Can I show you the video that they were using as evidence?
I have no idea what's happening here.
Downtown Portland needs a lot more security. We have vagrants all up in the library, and it smells badly, and the architecture is so beautiful. I love it, but it just smells so badly that you can't stay. You're going to need more.
Dude, can you imagine living in a city where it smells so badly you can't stay in the area? That's crazy.
More cops. You're gonna need.
Holy shit.
You're gonna need to be armed yourself.
So as lawlessness takes over Portland, Nordstrom, pictured right here, might be pulling out too. And what nobody's talking about is if you encourage one type of lawlessness, say nightly assaults on a local detention center for illegal immigrants, you're gonna have a whole bunch of other crime that takes over your city if it hasn't already. And right now, things in Portland are so bad, there might not be much of a city left if things don't change. But what's truly insane is that you don't become a sanctuary city, subjected to constant rioting without a whole bunch of other progressive failures paving the way for the constant mayhem we see happening here. Mayhem so out of control it's causing medical issues for people who live in the vicinity of this building. And the riots in Portland or in LA or in New York City, none of this stuff came about by accident.
You like how this shit always happens in like the most leftist cities? That's like where this always happens.
These are all places that have defunded their police, decriminalized every single offense.
It's almost as if like if you de-incentivize the police from doing their jobs and you defund them, that you're going to have less security.
They're also sanctuary cities. And they're all trending in the wrong direction. But Portland in particular is in a bad spot with businesses reeling under the progressive industrial complex, which enables rampant crime, property destruction, theft, you name it, and retail vacancies.
Yeah, it's like I said, if you encourage this kind of stuff, It's like, wow, big surprise. More of it happens. How does this keep happening? Oh, like let's let more legal people in. Oh, like it's harder to get a job now. Well, yeah, obviously, right? Oh, let's like take away power and money from the police. Oh, now there's more criminals. Like, what the fuck did they think was gonna happen?
Vacancies are now so out of control, even grocery stores are packing up and leaving, with residents worried the vacant stores left behind will be turned into permanent.
Syrian's Bomb says because they want to be good people. There's a difference between being nice to someone and being actually kind to someone. I think that if you have someone or something that you really care about, sometimes you have to do the thing that's harder, right? Sometimes like not letting it happen is actually more beneficial for the person. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I really think so.
Encampments. And that brings us to the real reason assaults on this local immigration detention center are not going to stop. In fact, they're only gonna get worse, because as Portland continues to collapse, local residents will not blame the failed policies that brought about that collapse. Instead, these local radicals think Donald Trump is the problem, along with his army of ICE agents who are the only ones taking fugitives off the street. Something the local progressive outrage machine has a major problem with.
Man.
Can you imagine trying to live near that or run
this guy here fight fascists? Fight them!
Can you imagine trying to live near that or run a business near that? It's impossible. You can't have law and order near an army of fugitives who camp out on the streets of their own city trying to rescue illegal criminals from a detention center before they get deported. However, the progressive outrage machine that runs this place has now started to implode on itself, and as you're about to see, this is not gonna end well.
Oh no.
Shrill and bells and whistles and air raid siren sounds and
crazy.
This is some of the noise attorney Julie Parrish says her client Cloud Elvengrail has been enduring since protests erupted outside the ICE building near her home.
Back in June.
Now Elvengrail has filed a lawsuit against the city, asking a judge to compel officials to take action.
Good luck with that.
Excessive.
Do you think they'll ever release a video game that's just like riot police, and then there's just like a bunch of like Antifa members and you have to shoot them with freaking paintball guns? Do you think with like paintball pepper guns and then like throw fucking flashbangs at them? Do you think they'll ever do that? Like a fucking tower defense game. Yeah.
Noise that she says was so loud it caused her.
This is straight up a lawsuit to ask a judge to tell the city, do your job.
I don't think that's going to happen, because if the city was going to do its job, if it felt...
Do you think that the game would get taken off of Steam if they had a Kyle Rittenhouse level? Bro, yes.
Like doing its job was going to endear itself to its own voters who are out there in the streets protesting, they would have done it already, wouldn't they? But things are now at a point where open warfare on the streets of this city has progressive activists turning on each other, both begging their leaders to step up and improve things. Some want the ICE facility here removed, others want noise ordinances enforced. And as this mayhem goes on, the leaders of this radical hotspot are gonna find themselves in a catch-22. How exactly can they do their job? Collect money from...
Shai says a truly fascist police would be for beating down and arresting the people getting in their way with no hesitation. Yeah, exactly. In fact, I think the police show like too much restraint, I think.
Businesses, taxes, residents who actually control.
But then they kind of have to, because like things might get worse if they actually are more forceful, I think. I don't know.
Job, collect money from businesses, taxes, residents who actually contribute to society, and pacify the protesters who seem to have no obligation stopping them from protesting 24/7.
In Elvengrail's building, and one neighbor, Tim Polk, said he understood her plight.
At nighttime, there's a lot of people who are just living here like 24 hours a day.
Crazy.
And it's been like a month and a half now, them just screaming,
longer than that,
using megaphones, and they have air horns going on, and they'll like, I've tried talking to people and they just start screaming at me. It's like very, just super aggressive, really inconsiderate of the neighborhood.
That's frightening. This guy comes out of his house, tries to talk to these protesters while he's walking his dog, and feels like he's just made some massive mistake. You can't live near something like this. It's dangerous for everybody.
Yep.
And in a peaceful society, these screamers would all be in jail if they weren't the ones in charge of Portland, but they are, which is why this stuff is encouraged and why the people running this place have done absolutely nothing to quell the nonstop mayhem taking over. However, the truly shocking thing here is now people are starting to arm themselves when they leave their own homes because they don't feel law enforcement has any hope of protecting them.
Polk says there is a fear in the neighborhood amid the protest, and he says that fear caused him to decide to get a taser
Bad
to
idea.
stay safe.
A taser? That's like the worst one you could have picked. That's like literally the worst self-defense thing you could have picked.
Don't want to tase somebody, but when you got crazy people running around, like getting in your face, screaming, when just around, like directly outside the door of where you live, not a whole lot of other choice.
I have a better idea. I know that he's trying to protect himself, but what you really need to do is you need to dress up like these protesters. You need to put on their attire. Get yourself a gas mask and some gloves like this and walk around carrying a container from a box at Home Depot. Then people will think that you're one of them and they won't attack you. They'll say, hey man, what's up? What's up, man? You one of us? Yeah, you're down for the struggle. And then you can walk your dog. But the only problem with that is if you do that, the protesters are going to think they have even more support than they have already. This is terrible.
One of the protesters, Griffin, says many neighbors have supported the protests.
From what I've heard from the neighbors that I've seen, because I am local here, we've got a lot of support from the neighboring community.
Really?
And they know exactly why we're here.
Can I show you the video that they were using as evidence?
Sure.
See what you think of it?
I'm much more disturbed by the dozens of armed men coming out of that building.
Really?
To what? Clear a driveway? I have no idea what's happening here.
So here you have a guy.
These people are always like, yeah, we're gonna raid this building, but like it's so scary when the police come out with their guns. It's like, God, dude.
Who's camped out on the street, who lives here.
Like they're fucking like trying to break into facilities, and then it's like once like the police actually does anything to them, it's like, oh no, like we're being bullied. Like, bro.
Thinks he's just got tons of support, and he's shown the videos of the protests that he's at, and he says he doesn't know what's going on there, and he says the real problem isn't what the protesters are doing. The real disturbing thing is that there are armed people inside that building. He's deflecting from the harm that he's causing to the people who live around that place with the constant noise and racket that is just coming out of this place. But here's the thing. The law-abiding residents of some of these nearby buildings, they've got nowhere else to go. But you know who can go somewhere? Grocery stores, restaurants, businesses, places that have to turn a profit if they want to pay their bills and keep the lights on. They're leaving because they don't get government handouts, they don't get free healthcare, and they have to pay taxes and all kinds of fees. On top of that, even institutions that get a completely free ride in Portland and shouldn't be allowed to fail at all are failing too in ways that will shock you.
And the library is answering.
Downtown Portland needs a lot more security.
The library has added 3 contracted security officers, bringing the total to 7.
Security?
Limited the Wi-Fi access to only library hours, and increased the building maintenance and trash removal schedule. Changes some say are a long time coming.
They need it. We have vagrants
Man.
all up in the library, and they have no home, and so that's their second home, and it smells badly. And
You can't be living in the fucking library. That's not what it's for.
the architecture is so beautiful. I love it.
That's wild. The library is just overrun with criminality, and look at what they've had to do. They've had to hire a platoon of security officers, and they've had to shut down the Wi-Fi when the library closes, because what that means is the Wi-Fi signal, which goes out of the building, is attracting people who want to live on the street and watch TikToks and stuff. See, they're using the Wi-Fi.
The library is for poor. I used to play MMOs in the library. Like, actually, I used to go to the library to do that, like after school or like during school. Well, like the school library. I have played MMOs at like the actual public library a couple times. Yeah. MUDs. You guys know what MUDs are? Yeah, I used to play MUDs on those things. I use like the web client, and I would like log in. Yeah.
At the library to do that, So now they're shutting it off, and they're gonna come by and I guess sweep the place more often.
The security being here 24/7 helps deter.
MUDs are like MMOs before MMOs. They're like MUDs, but they're text only. So like, you know, like those text only adventure games, it's kind of like that, but it's an MMO.
Away a lot of negativity and just people doing stupid stuff.
According to the Multnomah County Library Director, the library is considering more security measures, including installing metal detectors or conducting bag checks.
If you need a TSA checkpoint at your local library, that should signal to you that there are massive problems in this place that need addressing so that you don't have to have a metal detector at a place where children might want to go and do their homework after school. And honestly, if things here are so bad, they should just shut this building down for a while until they can fix the problems endemic to this neighborhood that's driving out businesses. But sadly, that's not going to happen. These problems are encouraged by local leadership. That's why we've got constant rioting at the localized detention center.
Goers aren't convinced that
Shango, thank you so much for the bits. I used to go to the public library to get sci-fi books and use the computers to play hacked free games, armor games and such. The good old days. They have like these websites like free arcade, and like you could play stuff. Yeah.
Go over well.
I feel like that's a little.
I remember I used to play Gunbound in the school library.
Much, especially if they're going to do it to everybody, because there's not a lot of people that probably want to be checked when they're going to a library.
Yeah. That too. A lot of people bring everything that they have in their carts and stuff, so it would be difficult.
So if you don't have a shopping cart or something you're not supposed to possess,
I forgot. I used the one with the boomerang. There was like one that had like a boomerang, like sort of. It's like it was like a spinning one. I forgot which one that one was. That's the one I used.
In your pocket when you enter the library, you'll be able to get through the metal detector. It sounds to me like most of the people who enter the library might have problems with a system that checks them for things like that or prohibits maybe bringing a metal shopping cart into the library. Why is that allowed at the library? But as you're about to see, mayhem at the library is only one of the problems we've got in Portland.
At the Gateway Fred Meyer Wednesday afternoon.
That just shocked the mess out of me, hearing that.
Customers stream in and out of the store, some stopping to react to its eventual shutdown.
The closing is not good, not for this area.
It's going to destroy the neighborhood. What are people around here going to do?
Corporate.
Guys, if you vote for people that are going to decriminalize petty theft and make it so that it becomes impossible to operate. So, okay, this is the thing that people don't understand. And I don't know how this is possible. But you know that if somebody steals from the store, you know who pays for that, right? And see the fucking idiot is going to say, oh, the insurance company, the company's insured, so the insurance company. No, you idiot, you fucking pay for it. You fucking shit for brains, you pay for it. Because what happens is the insurance company pays for it, which increases the insurance rates, which makes the company have to pay more money to the insurance companies, and they have to raise the price on product in order for you to get it. Right? So what happens then is like these big box stores, they get to the point where like, okay, now we have to buy insurance for, you know, possible violent things that happen, you know, insure our employees just in case something happens to them. And, you know, we have to insure the products, we have to insure all of this bullshit, and we have to increase the prices of everything. You know, now your fucking banana costs like 2 times the amount. And then what happens is then the people bitch at them and say, oh, look at the store raising the prices on us again, guys. They're greedy companies, right? And the companies are, you know, fuck it, we're out of here. This place fucking sucks anyway. You guys suck so much dick. I'm tired of buying freaking locks and like magnetic sensors for all of the shit and like, you know, having to remove them and hire more people to deal with that shit. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm out of here, right? And so who's left? It's just smaller stores that charge more because they don't have they don't have the capability of selling things at scale like big stores have. And who needs the big stores the most? Poor people. So who gets fucked over? Poor people. Because all rich people are still buying from Whole Foods, or they're getting it delivered from freaking Amazon Whole Foods. These people are such crackheads. Like I don't understand, dude. I'm too sleepy today to like have any sort of freaking mental filter. Okay, guys. I'm like delirious right now. This is like, I went straight into like the late night part of the stream where I've been streaming for 12 hours. It's like that, but I just started stream.
Explaining this was a difficult decision, part of, quote, a larger company-wide decision to run more efficiently and ensure the long-term health of our business.
That's a politically correct way of saying that this grocery store, even with its lower prices on over 1,000 items, is having problems attracting enough customers who actually pay for things to make it worth it to stay open. Now, based on what we just saw at the library, what do you think is going on?
Oh, no, it's because they're trying to create a food desert because they hate black people. Dude, God, these people are
Going on
so
at
fucking
this grocery
annoying.
store. I'll tell you what's going on.
Discuss placement
Holy
options.
crap.
Shoppers like Mark Leslie can understand the why.
You can't go in the back door.
Really?
It's all security, and it's a mess. And I just prefer, sometimes I go here, but seldom.
However, losing such a large
He doesn't wanna go
supermarket
there.
he fears could have ripple effects.
The whole property, then it's going to sit vacant, and then you're going to have 500 people with tents here.
And even though
What?
there's a Winco across Northeast 102nd, Devin Wilson worries that too could spell trouble.
Now this Winco is now overwhelmed. This Winco is now overwhelmed with people. And this is a major place. I mean, Gateway is right there, right?
So residents are worried that when this massive grocery store shuts down completely, it's just going to become a permanent encampment for people who live on the street. And then the problem is going to be there's only...
But I voted for the D because I'm such a nice person.
one grocery store left, which is apparently the one across the street, and people are going to go there and do all of the things there that shut down this business. So you see, the problem is, instead of having two businesses that split the crime absorption going on in their neighborhood, now there's only one. All the crime has to go there. We see this in all sanctuary cities, not just Portland, Oregon. We see the same thing in New York. You'll have a store like a Walgreens that closes, and then what happens? The CVS nearby that's trying to stay open and hang on, that place starts getting robbed even more frequently, and then pretty soon that place has to close down or hire even more security or lock up even more of the store. That's exactly what we're witnessing here. Meanwhile, the only residents of Portland that want to take action to improve their city are doing it in the most misguided way possible, protesting the ICE facility.
I'm just gonna, we're just gonna watch this one more time.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Man, it's actually crazy. Like, it's actually crazy, like, how good this clip is. It's like how perfect it is, in terms of how perfectly it describes what's going on. I feel like a lot of the times people vote for their own doom every single time. I don't know what it is, man. People need to think about where all this goes all the time, right? Like, what do you think is a natural result of what's happening? Do you think that, like, locking things up in, like, those cases that are security cases and adding those security tags to, like, all these items, you think that costs less money? It's like, of course it costs more money, which means if it costs the store more money, it costs you more money. And that's just like how it is. The higher the cost of doing business, the more expensive the product is going to be. And that's just reality. Like, I don't know why. It feels like the Soviets had the last laugh. Dude, it really does. It really does, for sure. But I don't understand, like, how consistently people try to blame like greed on, like, a company not wanting to stay open in a certain community, or they try to blame greed for, like, the prices going up. And sometimes it is greed, right? But then if you think about it, I mean, it makes sense why the prices of things would go up and why stores would close down in these places. Because it's just the more bullshit you add to the operational cost of the store being open, whether that's increasing the minimum wage or enacting some bullshit laws with thievery, you don't actually, like, enforce the rule of law. It's like obviously everyone's gonna pay more. This is the problem, is like these people, they vote for tyranny against innocent people. Like they're constantly sucking off like criminals. I just don't understand it. It's like they keep giving criminals preferential treatment in a way that harms innocent people who are playing by the rules, and they're being good people. They're incentivizing people to be assholes. I just don't fucking understand it. People are gullible and convinced that they're doing the right thing. Yeah, they do it so they could pat themselves on the back, like every time. It's like, oh, I'm such a nice person because, you know, I want all the illegals to be able to live here because we have good stuff. So, you know, they deserve good stuff. And it's like, man, these people are actually so fucking crazy. Need Healing says feeling-based voting. Dude, it really is that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it really is. It's like I said, like, I remember I talked to my brother before, like during the election, and I asked him, I said, like, who did you vote for? I was like, hey, did you vote? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, who'd you vote for if you don't mind my asking? He's like, oh, I voted for Gavin Newsom. And I was like, oh yeah? Why'd you vote for him? Like, what do you like about Gavin? And my brother just goes, eh. And I'm just like, what? Like, what? And it's the worst answer. That is the worst answer ever, says Holko. Yeah, but there's a lot of people that are like that. There's a lot of people that are like that. Like, you can ask them, like, hey, like, why do you want to vote for Kamala? Like, what do you think she did? I'm sure you can find clips of it. Like, oh, like, you're like, what do you like about Kamala Harris? And they have nothing. You know what I mean? It's, dude, if someone can't give any kind of essay on who and why should the vote count, dude, I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you, the older I get, the more I think that voting should have some kind of limit. I don't think that people should be able to vote by default. I'm starting to really think that, like, honestly, that there should be like some kind of achievement that you need in order to vote, because it's so fucking crazy right now, man. It's too much. You should pass a test. Sure, you should pass a test, or I don't know, like whatever it is. It could be whatever. It could be whatever achievement. I think we need something, basically. You mean the IQ requirement? No, it's more like an achievement, like some kind of achievement. I think you have to like be able to contribute something to society. Either that or some kind of achievement that shows you have skin in the game. Like, I think like land owning could be one. I don't know if that's like necessarily the best one, but something along those lines. There should be like some kind of criteria for it that is not I exist. I think the I exist requirement of voting is really fucked up, to be honest. With like how many people there are that are, you know, are gonna vote in their own self-interest when they're absolutely retarded.